All right. So, like I said, right? Look at here's hairline. It's high up there, but different down there. But is that receding, right? I don't know.
Mark Burns in 1974 was in the military. He was stationed in North
Now his is
Carolina.
kind of
The case
crazy.
he was arrested
His
for
is
was a
similar
rape inside
to
a
mine, maybe,
McDonald's
right?
bathroom. The
On
victim
one
in
side.
that case was an 18-year-old woman. He was charged and ultimately convicted of rape and set penalty. At that time, North Carolina had the death penalty. He was in prison for a year and a half, and then the North Carolina law changed to where you couldn't put somebody to death for a sexual assault. And so his sentence was commuted to, I believe it was 25 years. And he spent the next 12 years in a North Carolina prison. It's a terrible, scary story, and it's worse when you hear about the fact that A got out, B was supposed to die, and C did it again to so many more people in Utah.
We then learned in about 1987, 1988, that Mark Burns was again convicted of being a peeping
But see,
Tom,
even on
looking
TV, they
into
have
news
different
publishing
hair
window of a
styles,
woman's
right?
apartment.
They don't revoke his parole, and another year later, the same thing. He goes and starts licking windows. And so he gets arrested again. I think he does about a year and a half in jail, and then he's released in, I believe, late 1989. From then, he moved back to Salt Lake City.
The process of surveilling him led them to a retrieval from trash, from garbage.
Right? His is kind of
Unacceptable in the
even,
United
right?
States.
Right. Even
When a
that way,
person
right?
abandons things in the garbage and they put it out in the trash and wheel it out for public, they no longer have an expectation of privacy in those items.
They got a couple of soda cans and bottles.
And he's the one that has the weird left side versus right, right?
September 20, 2019.
But that don't
when the
mean it's
laptop in Wyoming
receding.
reported back that
See,
DNA
if that's
from
as far as
Arlington
it
Kane,
goes, right?
had a
And
single
say
male
the DNA is
profile,
based
and it
on
was
his
suspect.
father on one half and his mother on the other, right? Again, right?
Mark Douglas Burns.
The fathers could be the higher side and the mothers the lower side, or vice versa, right? It all depends, right? On who has the greater receding side on the hairline itself, right?
Clearfield
Now,
came up with a plan to make an arrest. So the
his,
arrest team basically just decided the easiest way
again,
to do
right?
it would just be go up to the front
An
door
older
and knock on the
gentleman
door.
with white hair. I'm 50 years old. I don't even have white hair yet. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Does that bother you too a bit? Right? Oops. I'm sorry. I was doing it backwards with that. Probably. You hate me, don't you? You want to sabotage me, don't you? Because I'm looking for a girlfriend and I know we can have sex before marriage. And I was going to marry you too.
They're just trying to keep him comfortable.
Some men do
They
that.
want him to be a little
Some men don't.
for questioning to talk about the actual case.
You found you one who would marry you. I know. It's also why I married Daphne instead of you, and then I knew when it was over with her to leave her ass too, right? See, some of you aren't understanding. That's the doctrine they were told, right? To do them by the scribes and Pharisees, not by Jesus. And he's repeating it to you.
You know, he looked like any guy you'd see on the street. I mean, he didn't look like a monster. He just looked like.
But if you think that, and you even look upon a woman to lust after her in your heart, you done committed adultery in your heart, right? Forgive your sentiments of sin, is what he means. If you're with the woman, treat her right, okay? He ain't saying do your wife wrong. But if you aren't working it out, it's better to divorce her than say beat her, right? It's
details of the many sex assaults their suspect, Mark Douglas Burns, may have committed over 3 decades. Isn't Jerry
wow, 3 decades.
Bloodline detectives?
They also have Parabellum on with Keanu Reeves tonight, right? Right. Uh-uh. Uh-huh. Alright. Well, like I said, you can say what? My brother from another mother, right? Exactly. Even when I'm, lighter. Exactly. And we both have, my hair is lighter, brown, right? His is darker brown, darker black, almost, right? But he's more Asian, right? I'm a little bit of everything. I know. Right. Mm-hmm. That's Mark the Cuckos or something, right? Uh-huh. But you tell me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Now, right. Like I said, looking like someone, though, I know that don't make me that person, right? Right. But when I was thinner, like I said, I looked the cross between Ralph Macchio and Keanu Reeves. Now, especially when the winter comes, I can look white. And that's because his mom is Caucasian and his dad was Asian. Mm-hmm. Like Bruce and Linda, right? With Brandon, right? Even. And Shannon. Mm-hmm. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Right, that's Jim. He's barely big down here in the South. Right there.
Decided to go back to school.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been listening to the one with Deja Cat where she gets this astronaut dude. You know she's saying all over my tits and I was wallets or something like that. Right? And they're blocking out the tits part. What you talking about there, girlfriend? Uh-huh. All over her. And she wants it, doesn't it? I know. I know. Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
heinous act of crime perpetrated against humanity and individuals in a family that our suspect did.
His is even. His ain't, right?
Question Burns.
But
You answer my question, why am I here? I sure will.
He wants to know, why am I here? Why are you asking me these questions?
Have you ever been convicted of any sex assaults? I have. Yeah. Tell me about that. I was convicted of rape in North Carolina.
Detective Carlson finally told him we're investigating a rape case. And when he did that, Mr. Burns was visibly upset.
Is that what this is? Is this a rape charge? Yes.
and he acts caught, don't he? Right? I don't get caught.
For a while.
I don't even know what you're talking about, and we'll have to make up a story to even confess to you. So to me, right?
Multiple cases.
And that's why I talked about sticking out my tongue and licking it one time.
Yes.
And I'm
And they were a match.
doing what?
You didn't see Garth
What am I confessing to? Misdemeanor, something you can't prove I even did, right?
Rapes and sexual assaults.
Hello?
Would you say that you've raped 10 women? I don't believe you have.
I have not.
Would you say it's more like 2?
No, I would say this time I want a lawyer.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. Burns invoked his right to counsel. Once that's done, we can't ask any more
Exactly. Even like on the SVU, huh? Even like on the SVU.
on you. Since 1991. That's my case. That's the first known case where all these cases have come together.
In Wyoming.
1991 in Wyoming, 1990.
1996 in Wyoming. And the reason I'm here, I have a DNA search warrant to take a DNA sample from you. Okay? And the second part is to talk to you, like Sergeant Robbins explained. But at this point, you gotta tell us you want to talk to us if that's something you want to do.
No, I don't.
The day his trial is set to start, Mark Douglas Burns does something police never expect.
His attorney came in along the lines and made a pre-trial.
And look at his hairline, right?
Potential plea. That would have been
I know.
5 counts, and pleading guilty to 5 and 17. We still
Now
have-
mine's a year later too. You've been harping on that for a year. And see, everybody's hairline is a little different. Right? No two people have the same hairline, right? Why is that?
That very day, prepared to
Because he's half his mom and half his dad, right?
Expecting
Even his hairline
further
is
and I was surprised to find out
even, his is a little uneven like mine, right?
I'm guilty. We're done. And I'll admit to it.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark Douglas Burns is not finished confessing to terrible crimes.
Uh-oh.
He now tells investigators that he also committed 3 murders.
Damn.
In addition to those rape charges that he's already facing and wants to plead guilty to, he's now confessing to homicides. One of them
Right.
in Utah.
His is a little bit higher on one side and normal on the other, right?
And how can anybody do this to another human being? How?
But you're pointing mine out,
A
right?
person gets to the
So all I could do is say, okay, well, let's do a comparison, right?
in such a dastardly
His looks even, right?
people's lives in
I know.
ways. But experiencing Mark Burns was nothing
On both sides,
about
on
it.
both
It was
sides,
nothing sincere. There was nothing contrite. It was
Now it is
to
great,
Burns.
right?
Finally, the victims of Mark Douglas Burns get the justice they deserve.
One of his last acts before the judge sent him to his life was to attempt to silence that 11-year-old girl who is now a grown woman and wanted to address the court. How can you do that and also claim that you have remorse or that you feel sorry for her?
Mm-hmm.
Alice, I want you to remember that you told me not to bother to tell anyone, that you would never be caught.
Mm-hmm.
I did it anyway, stronger than you. It
Mm-hmm.
may have taken 28 years, but we are here today.
Well, that's why too. I gotta comment on it and say why I'm doing it. Now, if I'm saying and confessing I'm later one time, why am I doing that? Because you can get the swab. What did I tell you about that? That would leave DNA. And you gotta do that though within 48 hours, right? Right. Which is the only thing I might could have done sexually with her and get away with. You know what I mean? You can't prove it. But no sex. No touching the vagina, right? With my fingers, right? And no penetration with anything but the tongue, right? Which wouldn't pop her cherry, by the way. And, nope. Oral sex don't do that, right? But I'm not saying I did oral sex, but that's the only thing I could have done legally if you can't find any evidence of her not being a virgin at 4. Right? Because if she's around me and she's being touched by me, the problem with that is you can break the hymen, right? I know. And they can tell if you're touching them too hard, right? Too. Mm-hmm. That's why. See, I know all this forensic stuff. I mean, before I joined the Navy. Before I meet Daphne, right? Mm-hmm. So I have no problem telling you I didn't touch that little girl. That's why I know. That's why you know. Now, like I said, the only one who can doubt is who? Someone on base or Sal himself, or, if I did bring her back in there in Daphne's line, Daphne herself, right? So I'm, again, explaining to all of them why I wouldn't do that. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Victims and their families. As forensic science continues to evolve, their work
That's why
continues to
DNA, I know.
making communities
I told him this too back when he first started it, right?
bringing criminals
See, if I lick her, there's DNA on it, right?
into the light. I'm Nancy Grace. Thanks for being with
And
us.
that's what he's calling himself, shave on you, Shane, right? But that's what I'm telling him. That's what you're telling him the whole time. He just is so fucked up. He's just so out there. He's just so screwballed. He's just so dense of a man, right? He's just so screwed in his thinking by Pastor Davis. That's who I think it is, right? Ever John Thomas. Whether it involves his daughter or not, dude, right? And that would just be something I'm pointing out as an alternative explanation to why he would reject me if he wanted to witnesses, right? Mm-hmm. If she's around him saying she's going to do witnesses at 4, no, he ain't going to like that, I know. But I'd also point out maybe we're rushing into this, and you're trying to, again, make me one of the 2 witnesses now, and that's a journey, right? I am still identified as what? One of the 2 witnesses. But I don't just go marching to Zion. Beautiful, beautiful Zion. Moron. I go later. But that's what I mean about forgiveness. See, I also let it go if Roddy had sex with Vivian's daughter or not. Before whatever happened, I know. Afterwards, if I thought she had sex with her and I brought it up. I know. Which, like I said, if Roddy started having sex with Vivian, of course, I might try to have sex with the daughter, right? But of course, I'm going to ask her, has she been with anyone else first, right? And again, only if she don't bleed would I say something. If she did bleed, I wouldn't. Again. But we're talking about, I'm being blacked out there, too, by the wreck with the Roddy at Vivian's house, right? And, see, we have a missing piece of the puzzle. And then you got Johnny Norris, David Pillam, and his brother, who was part of the sheriff's department, right? Now, even say I did have sex with Vivian's daughter, and she called the police, right, or the sheriffs, right? They're mishandling it if I'm 16 and she's 14, right? To begin with. I'm just turned 16, so I'm just able to have sex with anyone myself, right? Consensually, those 2 and 2, right? I know. But see, he can't arrest me at 16. No. It doesn't say that in the law. But no, can he attack me or shoot me or do something crazy either? Either you can charge me with that crime or you can't. And then Mark's the one who has the idea about the burglary, right? Because he picks the house. I didn't. pick any house, so I didn't think we would find anywhere, right? I'm just going out with him thinking he's joking around, right? Right. I think it's all a fantasy, right? But it's not. Mark done picked out a house, right? That's the part I didn't know about, right?
Brutal stabbings that I can remember seeing. She was just kind of discarded like garbage.
There were so many suspects. Any one of them could have done it.
But I also do it to promote the show, right? Right. As well. Right. So I'm trying to promote Pete even, right? And get you to go to their concerts, right? Or things like that, right? I can't go. I don't have the money, but maybe you can. Maybe you can. Because they're going to get hit money. Yeah. For helping John. Okay.